Not that money, haha. It's no joke. Some of us are broke, but some of us have a little much in the bank. Jamaica Bankers Association is urging us to be vigilant this season as we go about our shopping, especially when we're using cash. To tell us more about this, co-chair of Physical Security, the Physical Security and Anti-Fraud Committee, Dane Nelson. Good morning. How are you? Nicholson. What did I say, Nelson? That's why they took my coffee. I need my coffee back. Sorry about that, sir. Good morning. Thank you for being here with us.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
What a season. What are you guys seeing high level in terms of spend and activity and what's going on?
Well, it's the season. Just recently, what I've seen, the BOJ said that there will be about $300 billion in circulation. So there's a lot of cash. So at the Jamaica Bankers Association, what we are urging our customers to do is to remain vigilant. It's the time of the year when busy people get easily distracted. Criminals are aware of this, and as such, they seek to capitalize on situations like these. And as such, they might fall victim to theft or other cyber crimes.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting here and we really have to tell people to be vigilant in this season?
Unfortunately, yes. Person sometimes overly exposes themselves and make themselves vulnerable to situations like these. What you might find is individuals go inside the ATM to withdraw cash and come out with the cash in their hands. So persons outside see and pray and follow them. We are also having persons who visit our branches in the industry to do large cash withdrawals. You have criminals come inside, pretend to be customers, watch these persons, so they are in the line, they give them a skip, allow them to do their transaction, then trail them outside. So what we're encouraging persons to do is, as best as possible, conduct large value transaction online, utilize the e-channel platforms.
I'm not taking a skip.
I gotta say though,
give.
Dan, I know this might not be in your remit, but I just have to mention it. When I pass the banks and I see the long lines on the outside of people waiting to use the ABMs and ATMs because now we've cut down on physical banking, I have a security concern.
Yes.
Because I don't even have to go into a bank to know that you're outside waiting to go in and draw money. So are the banks stepping up security? What's going to happen to protect people?
So what we would have done recently, we have taken note of the significant risk associated with cash at this time. We have seen increases on the cash in transit courier.
Yes.
What we did was to launch the Physical Security Committee at the Jamaica Bankers Association, which I am the co-chair, along with Michael Powell. So what we are doing is bringing key stakeholders together, us at the Bankers Association level, the police, the cash in transit courier, all the relevant stakeholders at the table, national security, because it is a national security problem. It is not an issue that can be solved in isolation by the Jamaica Bankers Association, the cash in transit courier. We need all, even the general public, have a role to play in this, because they know who the criminals are. They know who these guys are preying on them. So we want persons to talk up, to give the police the relevant information so that we can bring this thing under control. And we are also encouraging persons. It is absolutely important to diversify. We understand that Jamaica is a heavy cash society, but the world has changed. The world has gone digital. There are issues associated with doing transactions in the digital realms as well. But if you follow the best practices of the respective financial institution, you can conduct your transaction safely online.
We're still heavy cash, eh? That's
Heavy.
interesting. This morning, SSP Lindsay, we read a story where she was warning folks to be careful online as well, because the scammer them, they're there as well. Harris mentioned the large number of folks who are in bank, and I know in large part the banks have been trying to keep folks out of their banking halls.
Yes.
A lot of us have to find our way in there now, Dane, because the ABMs are not giving. So what is the association? Is that something under your remit? And
so what we are doing at the association level to deal with it, because of the issue with the cash in transit, the attacks, there has been issues with replenishing funds at the ATM. So that has caused some significant delay in replenishing
So
the
you
ATM.
acknowledge that there's a huge issue.
So yes, there's an issue. There's no secret about it. It makes no sense to beat around the bush in that regard. We have to face it and hold the bull by the horn and deal with it. What we're doing is putting different strategies in place to ensure, by working with the security forces, to see how best that the cash in transit couriers can replenish the ATMs in a more efficient and speedily manner. Because the cash in transit courier are also the ones who service the ATMs when they have faults and stuff like that. So sometimes an ATM is down. It's not necessarily because it's out of cash. It's because there might be some fault, cash or a receipt jam inside there. But because the cash in transit couriers are under attack, criminals don't know when they are there just to service the ATM versus when they are there to load cash. So that is what has created the situation. And as such, collaboration with all the key stakeholders, the police, the Bankers Association, the cash in transit, that is what will help to, and also customers must take advantage of the digital channel to reduce the heavy reliance on cash.
Yeah. One of the things you're saying is plan your cash withdrawals. And I'm guessing what you're saying is don't go draw out everything one time and then for the whole week you're traveling around with this lump sum because you're doing business every day. You should plan, well, this is what I'm going to need and that's what I'm going to need before you do it.
Yes, because what that does also, it reduces the volume of cash that individuals have on purses, so it reduces the risk associated with keeping cash. So utilize the card we have, in the EMV chip cards, the tap and go cards. They are very safe and secure. It's fast and easy and convenient to do transaction with them. So plan your cash withdrawal, reduce the frequency with which they go to the ATM. Choose the ATMs also that you do your cash withdrawal. Ensure that you, if it's in the night, you choose a well-lit area, somewhere that is close to a police station, a mall, that don't overly expose yourself by going into a secluded area to do cash withdrawals.
When you say reduce your frequency of going to the ABM, is this because people will kind of track your patterns? People
will study your patterns, so you don't want anybody to note that. Worse if you go to the same ATMs all the time, because we know people who choose one particular ATM, so they might have a purchase to do at ABC store, they draw $20,000. By the time they realize that that cash has been depleted, then they are back at this. So criminals pray and study their patterns, so they will take advantage of situations like that.
You just never know who is watching you.
Never know who is watching you. Do not store cash at home.
Definitely, because especially now, persons know that everybody is shopping and things like that. So what they'll do is they'll watch you when you're not there, and they'll break into your houses, steal the cash. Don't tell persons also when you have significant amount of cash stored at your home, because a friend will tell a friend will tell a friend, and you never know when you're on the. Sometimes persons are on the phone talking, and you don't know who's there listening and eavesdropping on the conversation.
Yeah, and in terms of now shopping in the digital space, you have some tips for us there as well.
Definitely. So ensure that they look for the S in the HTTPS when you're shopping online. That is an
Say that again. Then.
The S in the HTTPS or the padlock. Normally it's in the far right-hand corner in the browser. Ensure that what I'd prefer and recommend also is that persons type the URL of the websites that they're going in rather than drop in. Like, for example, you want to go to Amazon, you type Amazon in the browser, because what criminals are doing, they're spoofing websites and sponsoring them. So when you type a particular store, it pops up, the fake website pops up at the top. So when you enter your credential, banking information, criminals capture it as well.
My God. So the S in the, if you go to outside, it says HTTP, do not do any business. Similarly, top right-hand corner, if you don't see the padlock, that's a hint that you ought not to be doing business with that organization.
All right.
Useful tips. Anything else you want to give us before we go? Tim?
Certainly. I know that there are some persons are a little bit hesitant to use the tap and go feature of the credit card, but I want to advise our Jamaicans that it is safe and it is secure for three particular reasons. One, there is a floor limit, the CMV limit, where above that, persons will have to enter their PIN. Two, proximity to data theft. So the EMV card must be within 4 centimeters of the contactless enabled terminal. And also, the cardholder details, the name, the CVV code, it's not stored on the chip. So even if the card is compromised, they
Nobody
cannot
can
go
access it.
and make a counterfeit card. And then the data security on each contactless transaction is powered by a unique cryptogram. And when a contactless transaction is processed, the card number does not leave the card. It is the PAN that is shared with it. So utilize it, it's safe and it's secure.
Excellent. All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Co-chair
Thanks
of
for
the-
having me.
Thank you. Co-chair of the Physical Security Committee and the Anti-Fraud Committee. Is that one in the same?
No, two
Separate ones. All right, with the Jamaica Banking Association. Dane Nicholson.
After the break, we hear why two siblings want to make seniors smile.